Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. It's about time to start the first science project in 3.9 Conquerors of the Atlas / Metamorph League, and it's going to be a magic finding project. So, magic finding is absolutely not popular at the moment. It's because the difficulty of the Atlas, it's about the map sustain. We cannot use the old shaped strategy anymore to like unlock maps or permanently sustain a certain map. Can you do 8 chaos? No, thank you. DND/DND. I always forget that. So, /clear. Alright, so it is hard to permanently sustain a map. There are certain reasons, or at least options that you can do. And one of those I will talk in specific today, and this is what I think should be the most profitable one. Alright, talking about Magic Find. As I said, Magic Find is completely unpopular at the moment, and you can get a shit good of magic finding gear with a little bit of investment. So we're talking about Perfect, Quantity, Sadima's Touch, going for about 3 chaos at the moment. A perfectly rolled Viscous Leash, what you don't need, but I just like the resistance, is about 30 chaos. Then Gold Worms, they are starting at the moment, this is the falling price that will show up, 10 chaos. 10 freaking chaos. A perfect roll one, like I have with 20 quantity and 50 fire resistance. I bought these ones for 50 chaos. Then next one, Pariah Rings with a white socket, going for 40 chaos. Perfectly rolled, by the way. So what I want to say is, like with maybe like an Exalt investment, you know, maybe even 2, maybe, depending if you like perfect stuff like I do, you can get a fully ground out Magic Finder. And this is kind of amazing because in other leagues, like just Gold Worms, were going for like 2 Exalts starting price, you know. And these Magic Find items you get for so cheap that I decided to make this Magic Finding project. So, what are we going to farm with this? Yes, Burial Chambers. So, how am I going to farm Burial Chambers? How will I ever be able to sustain if we cannot do the old strategy with removing and Elder and shaping the maps? If you have seen my videos from the past, this is not possible anymore through the changes of the Atlas. Okay, some storytelling here. When it was League start and I grinded up my Atlas to complete all the maps to get my Atlas bonus objective going, I encountered a weird thing. So let's say I wanted to have a maze map and I had a bunch of Ivory Temple maps, right? I'm not sure if this is like the perfect example here, but we are just assuming here, right? So I wanted this map and I had a bunch of those maps. So what I did is I was getting this Ivory Temple and I was just spamming a bunch of Horizon Orb. So what a Horizon Orb is doing is reforging a map item as another of the same tier. So basically we can check how many tier 14 maps do we have. Okay, in this case a lot. But the core message is, you're just going to spam a couple of Horizon orbs until you get the map you need, and then you just complete it for your Atlas completion, and it's about fine, okay? So, the problem was, I was having a lot of this. This is the perfect example. So, I was taking a map, I was spamming about, I think like 30 Horizon orbs, and I was like, hey, I'm not getting this map, but I'm getting the other maps quite often. So, either this is bugged, or maybe it's GGG failed on that one because of the revamp of the Atlas. I just cannot get this map. And then I found out that there is like 2 categories of tiers that we have, right? Or 2 categories of maps. First one is a natural map, and the other one we call a fake map. So, what is a natural map? What is a fake map? So, natural maps are maps that only exist on a certain tier. That means, perfect example, Burial Chambers. So, we socket 1 Watchstone in, we get a Burial Chamber now, okay? We got this one out, there is no Burial Chamber in here. That means with the new Atlas system, we have like a shitload of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiers here. And all of these can be upgraded with the Watchstone, but these would be fake tiers, okay? So if you check this one again here on this example, so as I said, Burial Chamber would be one of those. It doesn't exist. So if you search for Burial Chamber, it doesn't exist. So other maps here, for example, the Pier map, I get 1 Watchstone in, now it is a tier 4 Pier map, I get another Watchstone in, now it's tier 8 Pier map, and this continues, okay? So you will get certain maps with multiple tiers. Other than the natural tiers, this is a tier that doesn't exist on a low tier. It will still upgrade at some point, you know, 1 Watchstone in, now it's now we have this map unlocked. I get another one in here, now it upgrades to a tier 9. So the same process as the low tier maps. But as I said, there is a list of natural tiers. I wrote them down here by the tier list here. So these maps will only exist at this level. So for example, the summit map is a tier 16 only map. I get one of the watchstones out, it doesn't exist anymore. Okay, this is just a simple rule to follow. So I wrote down all the maps that are natural tiers, and these will be the ones that you will be getting if you use Horizon Orbs, and not any of the fake tiers that are just upgraded by the Atlas. I'm not sure if this is intended or not. For my personal view, it should not be like that, just because the map drops are always also based on what your current Atlas progress is. For example, if I have a fungal hull tier 14, or let's say primordial blocks, what do we take? Basilica? Work here? Basilica, okay. So if I have 3 watchstones in, I can drop Basilica tier 14, and only tier 14 Basilica map, okay? There is no way I can get a tier 16 or tier 12 or whatever other tier. It is always based on what my current progress is. So if I socket this one in, now I will only get tier 16 Basilicas, and not tier 14s anymore based on my Atlas. I personally think this should work with the Horizon Orbs as well, based on your Atlas, but it's not. So how can we abuse that? So as I said, it is always based, you can only get the natural tier here, the natural map on a Horizon Orb. That means on a tier 6 map, we have 3 different natural maps. So what that means is, if we're gonna take out here a bunch of these maps, I prepared them just for the showcase here. Bam. So these are my natural tier 3 maps. It's a burial chamber, an excavation, and a port map, like I wrote it down here. These maps here are also tier 6 maps, but the difference here is these are fake tier 6 maps. So these maps I got through upgrading my watchstones, and then I was able to get the higher tier of that. That means if I use a Horizon Orb, it will be 100% guaranteed that I will get 1 out of those 3 maps. There's a 33% chance on a fake map with the Horizon Orb to get this one. So let's try this one out. So here we just take the first, let's just try this, okay? So I'm just going to use a Horizon Orb on every single map here. And as you see, I will only get Burial, Excavation, or Port. Port, Burial, Port, Burial, Burial, Port, Port, Burial, Burial, Port. So not even an Excavation here. What that means is, and we already have a bunch of Burials here, this is now a 33% chance to make a fake map, basically, into a natural map. And already on the first try, out of these 10 maps, I have 5 Boreals. The next thing is, this was the first 33% because it was a fake map. Now it is a natural map, right? So it will still be the same rule, you can get 1 out of those, but the Horizon says reforge the map into another map. So now it is a 50-50% chance to get a burial chamber, because this is already a natural. This will roll into one of those 3, but it cannot roll the same, means the port map is out. So I will only get burial or excavation. Let's try this one out. So we're gonna use those 5. Burial, burial, excavation, excavation, burial. So I have the next burials here. Then I can just use them on here. Double burial. Okay, we just generated 10 burial chamber maps. This is how it works at the moment, and this is what we're gonna take advantage out of. And the project here with the Magic Finder is to run a full quad tab of burial chambers. And yes, this was a lot of work to get this tab here going. So what we are talking about, let me quickly pull this one up here. This one. So this is the current project that we're doing in the next couple of days. And I did spend a bunch, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run Awakening level 7 and having this zone with 1 single watchstone in. I'm going to explain later why I tried this version here, but for the write down, we're going to run 576 tier 6 maps of anything. Any kind of tier 6 map, as I said, fake maps, natural maps, whatever. Then I spent a total of 1,324 Horizon Orbs to make all of those maps Burial Chamber. Then I spent about 2,304 Cartographer's Chisel to get all of these maps to 20% quality. Then I used 576 Alchemy Orbs to get them all rare. Then I used about 125 Chaos to reroll Temp Chains, to reroll no regen maps, and also Alley Reflect maps, because this is an arc build, okay, a lightning caster. So I used 125 to convert, or to just reroll those maps that I don't want to run. And then we're gonna use 192 Awakening Sextants. This is the hardest one here. I already prepared them, and one is already over here. So what you can do is use the Sextant on this modifier, and it will count for everything in this region. And in the end, we are going to run all of these maps with Legion. Okay, Legion is if you have enough maps cleared or Atlas objective, you're gonna set free the Legion mechanic for 6 chaos. So this is a total cost of 48 exalts that we are going to bump into this magic finding project. And the price per map is about 10 chaos if you count all of that one together. So why do I run this one on Awakening level 7 rather than Awakening level 8? This is another part of the science project. I want to see, like, when I'm running Burial Chambers, for example, or any map here, the highest tier that I will be able to get is +2 of the map that I'm running. This is the principle, this applies to everything. So when I'm running in this circle here, I will only be able to get maps out of this circle. None of these, none of these, none of tier 14 or anything like that. So this will guarantee me that I will only get maps from this section, and I want to see in the same process, if I'm running Awakening level 7 in this style here, how many Burial Chambers will I get as a return? There are other tier 6 maps that I could get as well, like a Mud Geyser, a Mesa map, Wasteland. These are all tier 6. I can get basically every single map here in this cluster here, right? But I still want to find out if I run 576 Burial Chambers with my Atlas 7 and all of this like removed, how many Burial Chambers will I get in the end? Will it be able to be sustainable? How many map drops I will get in total, and so on, right? So that's why I prepared another like a second currency tab. So we're gonna pull everything, like everything we find, we're gonna push into this tab. Then a second fragment tabs for the Legion, all the splinters that we're gonna get, all the breaches that we're gonna find, all of that stuff. And in the end, I also have a second map tab here that we're also gonna use here on the, let's just call this Magic Find Maps here, okay? So we're gonna call it this one as well. So all that I'm going to find, whether it's a map, whether it's currency or fragments, we're gonna pull into separate tabs here. And then I wanna see in the end, once I run all of these maps here, how much currency did I get? How many doctors? Is this profitable or not? Just as a quick reminder, since this map will now cost me currency, remember back in the old days when we did like Atlas strategies to get like a permanent tier 3 Burial Chambers, the Burial Chambers were like a sort of currency or not even worth anything. If I would just vendor 100 Burial Chambers, yeah, that's it, you know, because I could sustain them so heavily that I had like after a day of farming, I was starting with 100 Burial Chambers. In the end of the day, I had like 300 Burial Chambers in my stash tab ready to run, okay? So this doesn't work anymore because you have to invest now into a map rather than find it. This will basically cut down my income anyways. But I still, I'll take the bullet for the team. I want to try out, is it worth running Magic Find still on this version? How much do we access to? And also this one is a new modifier that I also want to try out because Legions, we know Legion League was kind of insane about the drops. I know they nerfed it, but I still want to find out if we're getting like Doctors, Exalted or whatever out of these maps. Okay, this is about that part. The other part, what is this build? This is a Vaal Archer. So I plan to make like a 3 video series here. First is this video, second is going to be the build guide of this character, and the third one is once I completed all the maps, like the complete rundown, what did I get, how much profit, how much did I lose, and so on. This character I leveled up yesterday, now it's level 82, it's a Pathfinder, and it's a Vaal Archer. I don't want to explain too much about the build, especially because I'm still trying to figure out about my resistance, about the life pool, kind of low at the moment. I'm still needing levels for skill tree. I'm missing like jewel slots and so on for damage. But the build guide, like today we're going to play like maybe 100, 150 Burial Chambers, maybe more, depending on how fast I am. But in the end, tomorrow I can give you a fully grown build guide with the min-maxing basically. Now, today we're going to test how it works. But basically what you can expect is this one here. So we are Vaal Arc, that means we're gonna shoot 1 arc, and now basically we have our Vaal Arc and we have 5 stacks of those boys, and this chains like insanely, okay? It's a lightning skill, so we can use Impulsor, and as you see about the clearing here, it chains insanely far and well, and as you see there was like 2 or 3 screens. And this is with a full magic finder. At the moment, I'm having a 103% quantity. That's more than a Wind Ripper, okay? So we're gonna run all of these maps as a, like, more than 100 quantity, and it's going to be fantastic. I played this build first time in the Legion League, and this was a build that could kill a whole Legion. So you click on the Legion Monolith, you cast one single Vaal Arc, and the Monolith is gone. Every single mob will be freed out, and then a second cast here, and all the Legion will be gone, and then it's time to loot, okay? This has been my most successful Legion farmer, and since we're going to farm all of these maps with a Legion modifier, I thought this is the build to go. This is the build that I want to play. All right, it's time to start this project. It's time to run the first couple of burial chambers, see how's it going. If you want to check out Twitch TV/mbXtreme, we're gonna do this for the next 2 or 3 days, depending on how fast I am and depending on how fast this like every single map runs. So a total of 500 or close to 600 maps takes quite some time, but still I'm looking forward to this project. I'm really in love with this character, and tomorrow you're gonna get the build guide, and then you can replicate it if you want. Okay guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.